Yo, what's good, y'all? What's goody yuddy yuddy? It's your boy Remo. What's good with you? What's good with me? Nothing. I'm at WORK. I'm at the JOB. I'm at the GIG. Y'all get it? I'm at work. I'm at the job. I'm at the gig. Whatever you want to call it. And in this video, I want to talk about working overnights. The overnights will kill you. I'm telling you, the overnights is bad for your health. If you're working overnights or graveyard shift or third shift, whatever you want to call it, get out now. I don't care how quiet it is. I don't care how peaceful it is. Get out of that shift, man, because it's not healthy. If you're working overnights right now, you're doing damage to your body. Now, I'm going to tell y'all a little story about my personal experience working graveyard shift. Now, when I was in my 20s, I used to work. When I was in my early 20s, I would work 7 to 3, the morning shift, which I loved. But I had gotten into some trouble, went to jail, and when I came out, my cousin got me this temporary job, and he was like, "Yo, it's 3 p.m. to 11 a.m. I mean, 3 to 11, 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. 3 to And I was like, what? I always thought that shift was for people with no lives. That's your whole day. My cousin was like, nah, man, at this job, he was like, yeah, that shift paid the most. I didn't have no choice. Shit, I had to move back in with my mom. You know what I'm saying? Going back and forth to court, trying to hurry up and get the case over with because I knew I was innocent. And he was like, yeah, you can start tomorrow if you want to work that shift. I really didn't want to work it, but I said, to hell with it. I ain't got no job. I need money. My mother want her money every week. So I said, fuck it. So I took it. And it wasn't so bad. I noticed working 3 to 11, it kept me out of trouble. And I saved a whole lot of money. Working 3 to 11, 4 to 12, 5 to 2 or whatever, keeps a lot. You keep a lot of money. You save because when you're at work, when you get off, everything closed. Well, everybody else out spending money, you working, making money. Yeah, I used to miss a lot of events, but I only did it for like 2 months at that job. It was at a recycling plant, and this was some years and years ago. I think I was making like $10 an hour, but that was a lot of money back in the early 2000s, you know what I mean? Late 90s, early 2000s, that was good money. I saved a lot of money, at the end of the 2 months, because it was a temporary job. I could have signed on permanently, but I didn't want to be around garbage and, flies and I didn't want to do that for a living. My cousin had no choice. He had a felony. I was praying that I wouldn't get a felony, but they dropped my charges. I beat the case. My record is still clean to this day. But I was working at 3 to 11. I was like, I like this. I mean, morning shift is the best shift. But 3 to 11, to me, I was like, yo, I can sleep in. I can get off work and still go to a club if I wanted to. You know what I mean? And that's what I used to do in my 20s. I got another job working at a halfway house doing security. One of my first security jobs in a halfway house. I was working 3 to 11, and I would take a shower because they had a locker room with showers in it. At the end of my shift, I would take a shower, and me and the other fellas, we would leave and go straight to the strip club. I was like, yeah, I could deal with this. Get drunk, go home, go to sleep. You ain't got to get up all early in the morning. Get up, you can sleep till noon. I used to sleep till 2 o'clock. And then turn around and be to work at like 3 or 4 or whatever. I'm like, yo, this wasn't bad. So I'm on the 3 to 11 now. I've been doing it for 22 years now. But at that halfway house I was working at, back in like 2008, 2009, around that time, I came in and I looked at my schedule because we used to get weekly schedules. Came in and looked at my schedule. It said 11 to 7. 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. I'm like, what? I ain't signed up for this. I'm a second shift man. because back then at that job, nobody wanted to do second shift. But apparently they fired a guy who used to work the overnight because he would leave. You know, he was doing security, you know, after around like 2:00. Dude would get in his car and he'll bounce for a couple hours and come back like nothing happened, like everything was hunky-dory. So basically, he fired himself because you abandon your post, you already know. That's an automatic termination. So when the dude got fired, they just automatically just threw me on the goddamn graveyard shift without even asking. You know, and I was the youngest one. I'm like, damn, why y'all pick me? They was like, oh, well, you know, you were the one, you're the newest out of the bunch. They just threw me. It was some lame excuse, you know. But I was in my 20s and I didn't know employees had rights. I didn't, you know, I could have easily told them, yo, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't apply for this. I can't do it. You know, I got this, that, and the third going on. You know, I could have said, yo, this is not for me. This is not what I signed up for. Or I could have quit because they needed me. I didn't need them, really, you know, because I was employable. I was highly employable. I had my pistol permit, you know, I had my CDL. I had my security license. Shit, y'all need me. I could walk off the job and go find another job tomorrow morning, you know, but I was young, you know, I thought they could do that. I thought you had to comply with whatever your manager or your supervisor said, you know. So I ended up having to do these overnight shifts, you know, 1 day a week. Then next thing you know, it became 3 times a week. And then next thing you know, I'm only working overnights and they got some young light-skinned punk working my second shift. I'm like, wait a minute, how did that happen? Oh, you like working overnights, huh? You never said anything. I'm like, I didn't sign up for this, but, you know, I was a loyal employee. You know, the guy that hired me, you know, he seemed like a cool dude at that time, but he turned out to be an asshole. You know, he seemed like a cool dude. He was, you know, he had his back against the wall because people would leave and people just walk off the job, and, you know, it just was a mess. You know, but I said, yeah, I'm gonna help this dude out. He seemed all right. So I ended up doing overnights probably for like a good year and a half. And one day they had a nurse come in, and they would have a nurse come in and check like some of the fellas that lived in the halfway house. You know, she would do blood pressure checks, make sure they was all right. So she came in one morning and I was sitting in the chair, knocked out. So I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And she was a cute Italian chick. You know, we became friends. Like every morning when she came in, we would, you know, talk. I would small talk to her, you know, just be friendly with her. And one day she asked me, when was the last time I had my blood pressure checked? And I said, I don't know. You know, I was like, it's been a while. You know, she was like, what was the numbers? I was like, I didn't know. Well, you know, I don't remember. She was like, do you know anything about blood pressure? I was like, not really. Like, she was like, you're supposed to check your blood. She was like, you're at that age where you're supposed to check your blood pressure. And I was like, I'm still young. I'm in my 20s. She was like, it don't matter. You know, you got to start while you're young. So if anything's wrong, you know, you could prevent it. She was like, you know, high blood pressure is a silent killer. And I was like, whoa. So I was like, well, whatever. I was like, whatever. I'm thinking like, I'm young, man. You know, I'm in good shape. I can eat whatever I want. I can stay up all night, you know, drinking. You know, I could work a shift, get a couple hours of sleep, you know, eat whatever I want, you know, do whatever I thought because I was young, I could do whatever. You know what I mean? I felt invincible. But one morning she checked my blood pressure and it was I remember the numbers. It was 150 over 88 because she wrote it down for me. She gave me this list of where, she gave me like a chart of where your blood pressure is supposed to be. She was like, your blood pressure is up there. I was like, what? And I looked at the chart. The 150 was in the red. She was like, it's supposed to be down here in the green, like around in between 120 and 129. She was like, how much salt? She was like, what's your sodium intake? And I was like, well, damn, I eat a lot of chips. You know, she was like, do you eat a lot of cheese? I was like, yeah. I love pizza. I love McDonald's. Every morning I, you know, leave work and get some Mickey D's, a sausage biscuit with cheese and hash browns with ketchup. I was going to McDonald's every morning for breakfast because it was a McDonald's right down the street from the job. And she was like, how much sleep are you getting? I was like, between 4 and 6 or whatever. She was like, working these overnights throws your metabolism off. She was like, it sounds like your diet is poor. And I was like, okay. She was giving me $1 million advice. You know what I mean? And she was giving me this advice obviously because she cared. You know what I mean? Because, I was a worker, not a client there. You know what I mean? So, long story short, she gave me so much advice, it damn near scared me. And then plus I was drinking beer. I was drinking 40 ounces and stuff. So she told me to go get a physical ASAP. So I went and got a physical maybe like 2 weeks later. And because I had medical and dental, I just never used it. I was young. I didn't think I need. She was like, nah, you got to use that stuff. You're paying for it. So, I went to the doctor. Doctor did a blood pressure check. It was like, yeah, your blood pressure is kind of high. And my doctor was like, he was like, what hours do you work? I said, I work 11 to 7. He was like, He was like, so let me guess, you're constantly going to the vending machine. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, and let me guess, you're eating dinner-sized meals for breakfast. I was like, yeah. He was like, you got to give this up. And he was like, your eating patterns are backwards. So basically, working that overnight shift threw off my metabolism. I'm running to the vending machine in the middle of the night. I'm not getting rest. Shot my blood pressure up. And he was like, come back and see me in 3 months. Change your diet. Changed my diet. I was drinking a lot of water. I was working out, lost weight. Went back to see him like 3 months later. He was like, I see improvement, but not enough. Because at that time, it was like 135 over 80. He was like, I want the top number in the 120s. And I was like, damn, man, I did all this work for 3 months. I was like, man, something ain't right, man. I was like, something ain't right. So that same nurse that would come and check the clients every morning, I told her to check my blood pressure, and it was the same numbers that the doctor told me. And she was like, your days are backwards. She was like, when you're up, you're supposed to be sleeping, and when you sleep, you're supposed to be up. She was like, you got to set yourself an eating pattern. And she was like, you also got to get enough sunlight. She was like, the main cause of high blood pressure is not just sodium intake or diet. She was like, you're not getting enough sunlight. She was like, I'm sure you have low vitamin D levels because you sleep until 2 or 3 o'clock. You don't come out until it get dark. She was like, you're not getting enough sunlight. She was like, vitamin D is the sunshine vitamin. I never knew this. So this was when Google was new. I didn't have a cell phone yet, but I'm at work Googling stuff. Everything them doctors told me, I'm Googling. I'm like, damn, I need to do something about this. So I quit that job. I threw in the towel. I said, I'm not working overnights no more because I tried to reason with them. I said, I need to go back on my other shift, the shift that I applied for. They told me no. They gave me a long ass no. I said, okay, all right, bye. No 2 weeks notice or nothing. Now you see me, now you don't. So I left that Friday. That Monday, I had a security job working somewhere else back on my normal shift from 3 to 11. 6 months later, I go to the doctor. The doctor was like, dude, you look like you've been working out. I was like, yeah, because I was buff. Like, I got a gym in my attic. I was working out every day because I was back on my regular schedule. Get up, work out, eat a light breakfast or whatever, go to work. Didn't eat I didn't eat when working 3 to 11. I didn't eat big. I would eat I would pack. My wife would make me like a lunch with fruits and vegetables, But I would eat small meals throughout my shift because I was on my feet ripping and running. I had no time to eat a full meal at 6 o'clock for dinner. You know what I'm saying? I would eat here, eat there. So went to my doctor. He was like, yeah, you're in good shape. He was like, man, everything's excellent. He gave me a clean bill of health. The overnights. Well, let me tell you what my dumb ass did recently. After all these years, 20-something years go by, and over the summer, I got an offer for a job that was paying real good money. Real good money. And it was the easiest job ever. I was getting paid a whole lot of money just to basically just drive around at night. And it was a security job. You know, it was at a park. And all I was doing was it was me and another guy. All we was doing just driving around, just, you know, kicking people out the park. Some nights we'll see 10 people, some nights we'll see 0 people, some nights we'll see 50 people. But soon it got to a point where as soon as they saw us coming, we throw on the high beam lights, they'll leave. Easy job, but it was overnights. And it was 12-hour shifts. It was from 8 to 8. And it was this past summer of 2024. And it was a damn good job for easy money. You know, I would punch in, get the truck. You know, they give you a truck to drive. You know, I would drive around for a couple hours, kick people out after midnight. You know, I order some DoorDash, eat, you know, chill, go to sleep, and did that the whole summer. Into September, before I went to California, I had a doctor's appointment because I usually go like once every 6 months. And he checked me for everything. He was like, your blood pressure is kind of up there. He was like, also, your sugar levels is kind of high. And he was like, the last time I saw you, everything was normal. Because I had saw him maybe like, maybe that March or April. But when I started back working them overnights for the summer, everything went up. And I told him, you know, my hours kind of messed me up. He was like, you was working overnights? I was like, yeah. Now this is a different doctor. This doctor is different from the one I had back in the days when I was first diagnosed with high blood pressure. You know, this guy, you know, he's a good guy, young white doctor, very smart, very intelligent. Kind of remind me of Dr. Berg on YouTube. You know, he was like, I wonder what's going on. Your numbers are getting up there. But he scared the shit out of me when he said pre-diabetes. That's what he said. He was like, you got pre-diabetic numbers. He was like, you know, they're higher than before. And I was like, you know what? I think because I've been working overnights for the last three and a half months. He was like, yep. So he gave me this health newspaper to read. Y'all probably see it in doctors' offices in the lobbies. It's like a newspaper that be on the desk. It's called Health Matters or something, or Health and Wellness or something like that. So I'm reading it, and it was a column that explained how overnights was bad for you, how overnights was killing you. And Dick Gregory said the reason why they call it graveyard shift because it'll send you to your grave. You know, so I'm reading this article, and my doctor told me, he was like, you know, come back and see me in 3 months. Now, I ended up having to see him in 4 months because he was all booked. And I saw if that 4 months was last week, October, November, December, January, February, well, like 4.5 months, something like that. So I went to see him, and he was like, your numbers is not where I wanted to be. He was like, so I'm gonna have to put you on diabetes medicine for 3 months. And then when you come back in May, if your numbers are substantial or where I want them to be, he was like, I'm gonna take you off that medicine. He was like, but right now, you know, your numbers is up there. I was like, damn. So I told him, I was like, yo, I ain't working overnights no more. And I said, I went through this before some years ago when I worked overnights at another place at a halfway house. And he was like, you know, hey, your body is a machine. You know, he was like, you got to take care of it if you wanted to run good. I was like, damn, man. And so I was telling my girl, I was like, I don't know why I ended up working them overnights for the summer. And my girl was like, I don't either. You leave me here alone at night. My girl don't like being home at night, so. But I had to do what I had to do. That money looked good. Sometimes the grass ain't greener on the other side of the fence. And it's health over money. Good health brings good wealth. You know, you don't want to put yourself in a bad position just for money, because you'll end up paying later. You know, so if you working overnights, man, to each their own. Maybe it was just me. I don't know. But I can't do it anymore. You know, either give me a morning shift or an afternoon shift. That's it. The overnight, I can't do them. They'll send you to. I can't do them shifts no more. I'm sorry. Now, I might be able to do one overnight here and then some months later like that, but consistent, no, I can't do it. One every now and then is okay. You know, you want to help out, all right, that's cool. But consistently every day, it's not good for you. It's very unhealthy. Trust me, I'm telling you. I'm going through the shit now. The overnights mess me up. You know what I mean? But hopefully when I get to hopefully in May when I go to my next appointment, hopefully everything will be down. Hopefully my numbers will be down. I'll keep y'all updated. All right, y'all? Get out of that overnight shift. I don't care how cool your employer is. I don't care how much the money pay. Get out while you can. They need you. You don't really need them. You know? And a lot of times they stick you on the overnights because they might not like you or they might be jealous of you. They don't want you around. You know? I think that dude at the first job put me on overnights because like the nurses that would come in and the cleaning ladies, I had a good relationship with all of them, and I think he may have been jealous of that. You know, because they used to all be out. I used to see all the women on the day shift, you know. But on the night shift, you know, it was dead. Everybody was asleep. But in the morning, that nurse would come in. Maybe it was meant for me to meet that lady, you know, because she helped me out a lot. I don't even remember her name. But get out them overnights, y'all. It's your boy Remo. Peace.